Hello, everyone. Welcome to the LightSong School podcast. My name is Sarah Marie. I am a council member here at LightSong, and we have on the show today Sarah Gurren, who is a current student. And we welcome you to the show, Sarah. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah Marie. This is so exciting.
It is exciting. It's exciting because you have such a great story. You have such a rich experience, and I'm super eager for it to be shared with everyone. So again, thank you. Yeah, and if it feels good to you, I'd like to just jump right in.
Yeah, of course. Thank you again. I'm really excited to share with um my experience of like why am I sitting here today?
Yes, exactly.
And
We have you on the show because you've had one of the more profound experiences with your journey so far. And I'd really like to kind of focus on your level one experience and talk about even, who were you before Lightsong and who are you now? What is your context? Where did Sarah Gurn begin as a spiritual being in this lifetime?
wow. Well, yeah, so I grew up, I went to Catholic grade school, all girls Catholic high school, grew up in the Catholic church. But I've been always very connected spiritually. And there is a specific point in my life when I was in about third grade. So this like miraculous, connection to spirit. I was like praying a rosary for school, have to do that. And I my rosary chain like turned all gold from like silver, but it turned gold at all the pieces that were around the cross, and that was like connected to the I know I'm a bad I'm a bad Catholic, but at the bottom of the rosary there's something else there, and that turned
Okay.
it. So it was very specific, and I had received that rosary from a dear friend that went over to Medjugorje back in late 90s, early 2000s. And I don't know, that really just set it off for me as far as just my connection to the divine.
Was
A
that the
lot.
first paranormal experience or supernatural experience that you had up until that point?
Um, I'd say so. I mean, to my knowledge that I can like remember. And honestly, I didn't really think of it like, that. I'm just like, this is what it is. This is how, oh, this is the divine. Like, this is how, we're all connected. So fast forward through my high school, college years, I did the high school Catholic teachings and stuff, but nothing really resonated with me. Moved into college, and I was just like, I'm just still connected, just doing my thing. And in 2010, my dad passed away right before the beginning of the pandemic, March 10th.
Mm.
And so that really just set me into a downward spiral. I had really no idea how to manage grief. And I was like having panic attacks every day.
Mm.
So I had this, no, but I did at the time, I didn't know anybody that really talks about grief. Like it's kind of been just this like hush thing. And you just got to move on and get over and go on with your life. But I'm like, no, I still feel this way. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm still mourning. How is the rest of the world operating? Like it's just getting through that is such a process. And so I had a dear friend, her name is Julie, and she was like my grieving counselor because she had lost like 3 family members in 3 months, you know,
Hmm.
years ago. And so I would call her and be like, Julie, what's going on? This is how I'm feeling. And she was just so open about it and great. So one night, I was like so vulnerable and I'm like, I'm just going to pick up the phone and call Julie. And I just kept telling her, I need to talk to somebody that's like, I kept saying like, not like me, or somebody that can understand. Like, I don't want to go to a therapist to talk about it because I just don't feel like it resonates. Like,
Hmm.
I just, it doesn't work. And I said, I don't know, Julia, like, I feel like I just need to talk to a shaman. And I go, and so at this time, I had no idea what a shaman was. Okay. So my friend Julie says, oh my gosh, Sarah, I just had a taping with the shaman. I just had a taping today with the shaman. She gave me her home phone number. I will call her in the morning. I'm like, okay, cool. I get off the phone and I Google, like, what is a shaman? Like, I had no idea. This word flew out of my mouth. Okay.
Hmm.
I had no idea. So Julie calls me back the next day. She's like, hey, give Jan a call and, see if maybe she can help you figure out something or somebody to talk to. And I'm like, okay, great. So I call her, just knowing what a shaman was based off like Wikipedia. And she's like, do you know what shamanism is? Do you know what soul retrieval is? And I'm like, no, but like, I know, I just know I need this, I guess. And she's like, okay, I don't do soul retrievals, but Julie and Gaia have been so great to myself that like, I'll fit you in this weekend. And I'm like, great. I call back Julie and I'm like, Julie, you work for Gaia? I was like, I've been, subscribed to Gaia for like 6 years now, but I just thought that she worked for like a mega church or something.
Sure.
So I had no idea Julie even worked for Gaia. And so it was just this like big quinky dink.
Hmm.
And and so I had a soul retrieval with Jan. And it was life changing. Walked away like I I have to have more. I need
Hmm.
to know more. I was like, what is this? It was changed my life. It just changed my life. And in there, she had gotten a power animal for me, which will kind of lead into level one of really confirming my power animal.
So
And
let me stop you there just for a moment. So you had a soul retrieval with Jan, and you're saying that it's life changing, and I'm just curious if you can share with us like what ways was your life changed? How did you see or feel the shift? What felt different?
um, it was like a very distinct memory of remembering
Hmm.
that I've done this before.
Hmm.
Um,
And what is this? What have you done before?
energy, like shamanism, energy medicine,
Mhm.
ancient teachings, the oneness, the connection to the divine and it just didn't know that it existed, but I knew it existed, but I didn't know that there was like
Mhm.
a name for it.
Right. Yeah. And I just want to kind of draw attention to the fact that at a very young age, you had what many people would consider a supernatural experience. And
Mhm.
so you were in, a spiritual practice and you had this ordinary reality manifestation of the divine moving through you and changing something that you were engaged with in a spiritual way, kind of letting you know, keying you in, like, this is real. This is,
Mhm.
you are connected. Um, giving you that visual of who you are in a spiritual context almost. And
Yeah.
then later on in your life, you have this really dramatic shift with the passing of your father, and you intuitively know that you need to seek out a shaman, not even knowing what a shaman was. But there's this innate thing inside of you that is expressing itself, that is speaking through your mouth,
Mm-hmm.
moving through you like a channel,
Mm-hmm.
guiding you and directing you, landing you with a friend who happens to know a shaman that who isn't currently practicing but makes the time for you to see you as a client. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have this experience with her, and you remember in your adult life what this means, what it means to be connected in this way. That's how I'm tracking it. Does that sound accurate?
100%, 100%. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you had this life-changing experience with Jan where you started to remember even more viscerally and more consciously who you are. Um, did you have the notion of yourself as a healer, or was it more, I know how to do magic. I know how to wield energy.
Um, I
Or is
felt like
that maybe something you're still figuring out?
I'm still figuring out what that
Yeah.
is, but
Yeah.
I just knew I was like this sponge that was like, I just want to know more. I want to learn more. I just want to remember all this, and I want to learn this. Like there was I had this feeling of just this pure, like knowingness that it's like a pure ecstasy. Like it's just this pureness that radiates through my whole body. That's like, yes, this is it. Like this is it. Like, yes, like, I want to do backflips because I'm so excited. I don't even know how to do a backflip, but that's how I feel.
I love that for you. So what happened after that then?
So after the soul retrieval, I basically anything that I could get my hands on, study or read or work with, I did up until level 1, which was in October. So from about May to October, I was just like trying to absorb as much as possible, um, and learn. And so I go into level 1, and it I think I had said to Karen, actually walking away from level 1, like a week later, like, wow, I really don't know anything. Everything
Mm.
that I think I know, I might not actually know anything. Yeah. So, would you like me to kind of share
I would
about?
love to hear more about, yes, definitely your experience in the level 1 class. And you mentioned that you were given, or a power animal was found for you by Jan.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I know that that's a part of your level 1 story.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that sounds like this now feels like a good time, yeah, to bring that in.
yes. Oh, wow. Yeah. It was magical. So you go into level 1, and you're asked to say, like, if you've had a power animal retrieval in the past, or you've had a soul retrieval where you've been given a power animal, let go of that and just allow your power animal to come in, and don't have any judgment on what you think or think it should be or shouldn't be.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, my power animal. My power animal is Hawk, who I call Mr. Hockey. And so I go into it. I'm like, okay, well, let's do this. And I had sensed that it was a hawk. Um, and I asked, if you are my power animal, I need you to make it very clear. There can't be any questions if you're my power animal or not.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting here at my house, and we come back from the journey, and the drumming turns off. All of a sudden, swooped right up to my window. My hawk came. I'm like, okay. You made it very clear that you are my power animal. I said, that's crystal clear.
So you were in the journey state and felt and saw hawk
Hmm.
as your power animal. And then when you come out of the journey in your ordinary reality outside of the window of your home is a
Hmm.
hawk.
Hmm.
I love that.
Was sitting there and I'm like, I think I go back onto the camera and I'm like, you're not gonna believe this. I was there's a hawk, and like, I asked for it to be clear. And so, yeah, that was magical. And what was also pretty magical about my power animal showing up was it was like right around probably the same time that I must have conceived my daughter, Evelyn.
Hmm.
Um, so that was really magical. Looking back, I was like scrolling through my iPhone to see the date of when it was, and I was like, oh my gosh. And my power animal's been with me, ever since. I mean, it's daily, like showing up. And
That's kind of my next question is, you at in level one, we learn how to go into the altered state realms. We learn how to access the spiritual realms in a good and a safe way. We find our allies. The first ally we find is a being that we refer to as a power animal. And then we take from what we learned in that workshop into our everyday lives. And so I'm just curious what that looks like for you, because it's always different for everyone. And you're telling me that it's daily that you interact with this being. What are some ways that shows up, or what does that look like?
um it, wow. It can show up to just, he'll show up physically, like in ordinary reality,
Hmm.
um, physically and telepathically in ordinary reality.
Hmm.
Um, like I'll be like, you know, meet me back here at the same place at the same time tomorrow night, and like, boom, he's there, I'm there.
Are you talking about an ordinary reality now?
Yes,
You
in
make you
ordinary.
make like dates with your power animal?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess when my power animal wants to have dates telepathically, I know I get to know. But yeah, it's like, yeah, that's yes, that's happened. Yes.
That's really special.
And just from, daily reminders, feathers. But I also just calling them in, when I get into my car to keep me safe, to keep me protected, just wherever I go, it's my power animals with me. Even from as simple as just making a phone call, just asking them to be beside me, to my dreams at night, they're always there. If I find myself in a scary, like I'm in a scary dream or something, I'll like call in my dream team in my dream. And then I'm like, you can't touch me. I got my power animal and my dream
Yeah.
team here.
So it sounds like your dream team, which is, all of the other guides that we meet along our light song journey in the classes. We kind of collect these allies and we lovingly call them our dream team. And I love that they're showing up for you in waking life and in dreaming life.
Mhm.
It feels like they are really integrated into who you are, into who you are becoming. And I'm curious if there's anything else that you can share with us about how life is different now that you have these journey skills, you have the ability to go into the altered state realms. You came in to level one way and now you've come out a different way. Can you speak to that a little bit more?
Yeah. And that's a great point. Thank you. And I do want to share that it is intimidating going into a journey, being like, I'm supposed to find a power animal. I'm supposed to, connect with my teacher in the upper world, like in a journey. How am I going to do that? And am I even getting any information, or how do I perceive information? And I want to share, like, for myself, going to the upper world was a lot harder than going to the lower world,
Mm.
where you get your power animal. And even then, from my journeying skills from when I learned level 1 to where it is now, it does work, and it does get easier the more you do it. And you learn to, I feel like for me, I've learned to understand more about myself and how I uh, perceive or sense like energy, and how I receive information. So don't give up, because like Jan said, like, never is nothing happening,
Right.
and it's there. And these are skills that, I've taught my daughter. I mean,
Mm.
her first, like, one of her first words is bear, that's her
Wow.
power animal. And, where's her, where's her angels? And so I'm going off on a tangent on that, but it does get better and easier. And the feeling, I don't know. I can, from people that I've spoken with in level 1, that were also my classmates and myself, everyone walks away like, oh my gosh, I got a power animal. They're just so excited. Like, this is amazing. I mean, who would have thunk?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I connected with my power animal, and they have these profound healings. And um like, just really reignites, like, it really reignited my soul. Like, wow, this is incredible.
I like what you're touching on now about that reignition or reigniting of your soul. I was having a conversation actually in another podcast with Amber Jane about how what is so powerful about level 1 is that it's reconnecting you with community that you didn't even know you were missing, and
Mhm.
that it truly is almost like a nutrition piece, like something that your soul needs to be okay, to be fed, to feel like it is secure and has that sense of belonging, is knowing that there's this spiritual family or spiritual
Mhm.
community that is looking for you just as much as you're looking for them. And
Mhm.
so that sense of reunion is very real when you find your spirit allies. And I'm hearing that when you're talking about your experience with level 1 and some of your classmates' responses to the experience. I can also feel that energy there, that amaze and surprise, that walking, me human walking through this Monday world can kind of touch into magic and have it be so real, and have it be so real almost immediately.
Mhm.
I mean, I think the first day you're journeying and finding an ally. And so
Mhm.
you walk in, one way, and then you walk out with the ability to go into an altered state and communicate with spirits. It's amazing.
Yeah. it's it's incredible. It's amazing. It just fills my heart with so much excitement and joy and love that it's life changing. It is really life changing. And um I do like when you mentioned, like, the community piece of LightSong. The LightSong community is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've n- never met so many, I mean, so many beautiful souls and beings. and the community makes you feel safe, welcomed, protected, and just really inviting and respectful. So I just think it's beautiful, the container that has been built for LightSong, and also the classes and everything involved is just beautiful.
I agree. Some of my closest friends that I have in my life today started with me in the level one class
Yes.
back in January 2013. You know,
Yeah.
I had a friend who I met there who was, at the birth of my daughter.
Hmm.
Um, Karen Hefner, she's a teacher here at Lightsong. She was one of my first healers and teachers, and she was also at the birth of my daughter, drumming her into
Hmm.
this ordinary reality. And it truly is a network of people that have become irreplaceable.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, the community here, the real life, ordinary reality community is quite powerful.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about why you decided to continue beyond level one, because I believe you're in level three right
I'm in
now.
level
Yeah.
3. Yes. Now, well, I mean, the pure excitement of walking out of level 1. I mean, I couldn't wait till level 2 started. And I'm like, already filling in my calendar, like, okay, got my level 2. I'm so excited. It was just such an excitement. And I still am just like, I can't get enough of it. Like, I just want to keep going into
Mhm.
it and learning more, because there's so much to learn or remember.
Mhm. And
And
what feels I'm so curious why it feels so satisfying to learn what we're teaching here at Lightsong. I hear you saying that it's remembering who you are, which is huge, like that in and of itself. But is there anything else that you could speak to that feels, yeah, what feels satisfying about gathering this information and remembering? What is that?
um, being in a container with like-minded individuals or souls, and it's to me, it's not something that's very like a physical thing. It's just an energetic feeling, vibration of how I feel, how it makes me feel. Um, it's beyond, for me, it feels like it's beyond logic or reason. It just is. It's
Mm,
just is this feeling.
yeah.
Um, mhm.
Yeah, what I'm feeling in your words is almost the sense of finally finding a match for who you are, finding people who resonate with you and who are on the same wavelength as you are, and how good that feels to have that kind of connection. Does that sound?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I'm so appreciating our time together, Sarah, and I'm wondering if there's anything that you'd like to share before we close our time together, or if we feel complete.
um, I just say to anyone that's really thinking about taking level 1, just do it. You have nothing to lose, only things to gain, and it's magical and
Mhm.
it's real. And for me, it was life changing, and I hope it continues to change others' lives. Mhm.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much for your kind words, Sarah, and for sharing so much of yourself. I'm sure we'll be asking you to be back on the show. So until next time,
Oh, thank you. Thank
bye for now.
you. Okay.